So, hi, all my friends. Thank you so much for all your comments and your support on my guitar issue. Um, I am going to take it to another shop on Friday. So, wish me luck. And I'm going to post a picture of what the separation looks like so you can see the before and after pictures. And you can boohoo with me. Anyway, so that's what's going on with that. But I do appreciate your support. And speaking of support, I would like it if my subscribers could please include in your prayers a prayer for Buddy, my friend, Scarsboro. He's out of Memphis, or Mississippi. Mississippi, I think. He used to live here in Los Angeles, and I met him on Facebook. He befriended me, and he liked the music, you know. So his dad used to be a guitar player and was well known in the industry here in Los Angeles, and would do a lot of country western and cowboy songs and that kind of thing. So he appreciates a good guitar music. And so anyway, he went to get checked up on something, and they discovered that he had cancer, and it has spread in his abdomen area. So if you would please pray for Buddy, I would very much appreciate that. I know he would too. So thank you for that. And if you need prayer, please let me know, and I would be happy to add you to my list of prayers. We are in the book of Nahum, and Nahum in this first chapter is nobody really knows that much about him, just that his name means comfort. So there's a burden, there's prophetic visions going on in Nineveh, and divine jealousy. So this is more of a spiritual kind of thing going on too. And it's going to, so I'll just get into it. Chapter 1, the burden of Nineveh, the book of the visions of Nahum and Elkoshite, the Elkoshite, so another ite. God is jealous, and the Lord revengeth. The Lord revengeth, and is furious, and the Lord will take vengeance on his adversaries, and he reserveth wrath for his enemies. The Lord is slow to anger, and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in his whirlwind, and in the storm the clouds are the dust of his feet. He rebuked the sea, he maketh it dry. He drieth up all the rivers. Bashan languisheth, Carmel, the flower of Lebanon, languishes. The mountains quake at him, the hills melt, the earth is burned at his presence, yea, the world and all that dwell therein. Who can stand before his indignation? Who can abide in the fierceness of his anger? His fury is poured out like fire, and the rocks are thrown down by him. The Lord is good, a stronghold in the day of trouble, and he knoweth them that trust in him. But with an overrunning flood he will make an utter end of the place thereof, and darkness shall pursue his enemies. What do ye imagine against the Lord? He will make an utter end, and affliction shall not rise up the second time. For while they be folden together as thorns, and while they are drunken as drunkards, they shall be devoured as stubble fury dry. There is one come out of thee that imagineth evil against the Lord, a wicked counselor. Thus saith the Lord, though they be quiet, and likewise many, yet thus will they be cut down, and shall be passed through. Though I have afflicted thee, I will afflict thee no more. For now will I break his yoke from off thee, and will burst thy bonds in sunder. And the Lord hath given a commandment concerning thee, that no more of thy name be sown. Out of the house of thy gods will I cut off the graven image and molten image. I will make thy grave, for thou art vile. Behold, upon the mountains the feet of him that bringeth good tidings, that publisheth peace. O Judah, keep thy solemn feasts, perform thy vows, for the wicked shall no more pass through thee. He is utterly cut off. Okay, so that's chapter 1. Chapter 2 is Judah and Israel being punished. God sends fearful armies against their enemies. Doing a potluck today. Say goodbye to my friends who are going back to their respective states. I'm going to miss them. Anyways, okay. He that dasheth in pieces is come up before thy face. Keep the munition, watch way, make thy loins strong, fortify thy power mightily. And the Lord hath turned away excellency of Jacob as the excellency of Israel, for the emptiers have emptied them out and marred their vine branches. The shield of his mighty men is made red. The valiant men are in scarlet. Chariots shall be flaming torches in the day of his preparation, and the fir tree shall be terribly shaken. The chariots shall rage in the streets, they shall jostle one against the other in the broad ways. They shall seem like torches, and they shall run like the lightnings. He shall recount his worthies, they shall stumble in their walk, they shall make haste to the wall thereof, and the defiance shall be prepared. The gates of the rivers shall be opened, the palaces shall be dissolved, and Huzzab shall be led away captive. She shall be brought up, and her maids shall lead her, as with the voice of doves, tabering upon their breast. But Nineveh is of old like a pool of water. They shall flee away, stand still, they shall cry, but none shall look back. Take ye spoil of the silver, take the spoil of gold, and there is none end of the store and glory out of the pleasant furniture. She is empty and void and waste, and the heart melteth, and the knees smite together, and much pain is in all the loins, and the faces of all of them gather blackness. There is dwelling of the lions and feeding place of the young lions, where the lion, even the old lion, walketh, and the lion whelp, and none made them afraid. The lion did tear in pieces enough for his whelps, and strangled for his lioness, and filled the holes with prey, and his dens with raven. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will burn her chariots in the smoke, and the sword shall devour thy young lions, and I will cut off thy prey from the earth, and the voice of thy messengers shall no more be heard. Chapter 3. Woe to the bloody city, it is full of lies and robbery, and pray depart not, the noise of a whip, the noise of the rattling of the wheels, of the prancing horses, and the jumping chariots. The horseman lifted up both the bright sword and the glittering spear, and there is a multitude of slain, great number of carcasses, and there is none end of their corpses. They stumble upon their corpses, because of the multitude of the whoredoms of the well-flavored harlot, the mistress of the witchcrafts, that selleth nations through her whoredoms, and families through her witchcraft. Behold, I am against thee, saith the Lord of hosts, and I will discover thy skirts upon nations, thy nakedness, and kingdoms thy shame. And I will cast abominable filth upon her, and make thee vile. and will set thee as a grazing stock. And it shall come to pass that all they that look upon thee shall flee from thee, and say, Nineveh is laid waste. Who will bemoan her? Whence shall I seek comforters for thee? Art thou better than populous number that was situated among the rivers, that had the waters round about it, whose rampart was the sea, and her wall was from the sea? Ethiopia and Egypt were her strength, and it was infinite. Put and Lubim were thy helpers. Yet was she carried away, she went into captivity. Her young children also were dashed into pieces on top of the streets. They cast lots for her honorable men, and all of her great men were bound in chains. Thou also shalt be drunken. Thou shalt be hid. Thou also shalt seek strength because of the enemy. All thy strongholds shall be like fig trees, with the first ripe figs. If they be shaken, they shall even fall into the mouth of the eater. Behold, thy people in the midst of thee are women. The gates of thy land shall be set wide open until thy enemies. The fire shall devour thy bars. Draw thee waters for the siege. Fortify thy strongholds. Go into clay and tread the mortar. Make strong the bricklin. There shall the fire devour thee. The sword shall cut thee off. It shall eat thee up like a cankerworm. Make thyself many as the cankerworm. Make thyself many as the locust. Thou hast multiplied thy merchants above the stars of heaven, and the cankerworm spoileth and fleeteth away. Thy crowns are as the locusts, and the captains as the great grasshoppers, which camp in the hedges in the cold day. But when the sun arises, they flee away. Their places is not known where they are. Thy shepherds slumber, O king of Assyria. Thy nobles shall dwell in the dust. Thy people is scattered upon the mountains, and no man gathered them. There is no healing of thy bruise. Thy wound is grievous. All that hear the bruit of thee shall clap the hands over thee. For upon whom hath not thy wickedness passed continually? And that's the end of Nahum. We're in Habakkuk. And Habakkuk the book of Habakkuk, the author, some inferred from his Psalm chapter 3, the direction to the chief musician, and he was a courtesan in the temple, but this is purely conjectural. Okay, the date's uncertain. The prophet eventually lived in the Chaldean period. Many scholars fix the time of the prophecy during the reign of Jehoiakim. Okay, the main themes of the mystery of providence. The book opens with the prophet in perplexity over the mysteries of unpunished evil. And so he complains to God. He receives a reply revealing the divine plan. And still the moral problem is unanswered. The prophet ascends his watchtower and then contends with new light received. And there's the notable passages are in chapter 2:4, 2:14, 2:15, and chapter 3, verse 17 and 18. So, yeah, so we'll get into that next. So, yeah, be praying for each other, lift each other up, and I wish you all well. And I hope, Thomas, that your leg is better. Let me know. Did you go to John Hopkins or what? Leave me a message, okay? All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.